Do you want shareholders to vote this week? There are literally 5 business days left to make up their minds. Do you want a full slate, 3 board members, including yourself, or would something less be a win?
Yeah, so we're not seeking a full slate. We're seeking 3 directors on a board of 10. So it's a minority slate. We certainly love all 3 to be elected, and we think that would help recast the board and change the culture in the boardroom, which we think would be helpful. But I think in light of how hard the company's fought back, the latest, as you mentioned, accusation, I think it's a huge win for us to get on the board. We were certainly the underdogs at the beginning of the contest, and I think we're in a good place going into the election.
So 1 person on the board, which would be yourself, that would be a complete win for you?
No question it would be a win. It's not a complete win because we have 2 other very talented directors, Ronnie Hagan and Paul Unruh, I think can add a lot of value. And one of the benefits we bring by adding 3 directors is we replace the 3 longest standing members of the board. And there are a lot of actually very good directors that joined the board in the last 3 years, but they're newbies. They haven't gotten their feet solidly in the sand, if you will, and they can't, it's harder for them to challenge the status quo. But with a change in the board, if we replace the chairman, I'm seeking to replace John Jones, the chairman, 2 other directors on the board, you'll now have 3 committee chairs will have to be redone. And that recasts the board and enables the board to operate like a new board.
Okay, I could throw out some statistics, and I will. Why not? About ADP being a great company for shareholders, growing a dividend by what, 45? Over 45 years.
All those things are true.
Yep,
it's a great company.
Yeah, a great company. So why then, attack it in this particular way? If you're so enamored of the company, why not take a position in it and casually suggest some potential changes, as opposed to going all out and waging war?
Yeah, so we're not waging war. And in fact, we've stayed away from ad hominem attacks. We've stayed away from the kind of accusations that the company has made against us. We've focused on the core issues. And the core issues is this is a great company, but that's really looking backwards. And the company has fallen behind competitors. It's lost major market share in the enterprise market. This is for companies with 1,000 or more employees. Companies like Workday, Ultimate Software, Ceridian, and others have taken away a lot of share from the company. That's really not, for a company with as much financial resources and the strong market position that ADP has had, to allow these new entrants to take away your, customers who've been with you for a decade or more. It's not a good thing. That's the first. And the second component is that the company has about 20% margins, about 60%. They could be 60% higher than where they are now, and just basic reorganizing the structure of the business. This is a company that operates with a very old-fashioned organizational structure. Too many layers of management, 130 offices around the country, inefficient procurement, everything from buying office supplies to dealing with the company suppliers. These are things that can be fixed, but you can't do them by making light suggestions. The culture of this company is very ingrained, and our goal was to meet with the board, to convince them of this privately, as we have in a number of other circumstances, and then get a couple seats on the board and work with the company. They forced us into a proxy contest, and that's why we are where we are.